This is a short video which is going to be about the subliminal messages and overt messages in the COP15 propaganda piece, which was shown at the beginning of the whole Copenhagen conference to install a one world government. Okay, we can see where this is going right from the start. First of all, rain is evil, and it's mixed in with the gloomy music. Rain is now not something that the children are trying to avoid because they don't want to get wet. The rain, the gloom, the doom. Rain is evil. We don't need rain for plants. We don't need rain to get water to drink. Rain is evil. That is the first message. The second message is, of course, that we are causing it to rain. There's no scientific proof whatsoever for that, as there's no scientific proof for global warming. And there's another point. They're jumping on climate change. There's no global warming in this. There's climate change. Why? Because there's no proof of global warming, so they're trying to change it all to climate change now.
And few still doubt the impact of human influence over this predicted catastrophe.
Those activities which are emitting carbon dioxide are obviously imposing a cost on the earth, on humanity, on this generation and the next generation.
The number of environmental refugees to more than 250 million people. The shortage of resources and the high number of refugees will increase tensions all over the world.
Some people might accuse this piece of being like a green liberal environmentalist propaganda. This isn't propaganda directed at liberals. It's propaganda directed at our tribal instincts to take care of our family and children. So it's propaganda directed against everyone. The girls watching the television tell her that humans have caused all this catastrophe. Humans have caused it. There's a bit of guilt tripping about the whole Africa thing, but that really isn't that important. What's really important is the relationship between the girl and her father, and how we are destroying her future. And it's trying to kind of put us in the place of the father, like, don't you want to be a good parent and take care of your little girl? We can blow up that picture of the girl's doll and see that it's a polar bear. This comes from the propaganda being put out that because you drive a car, you are going to kill all the polar bears. Polar bears are not in danger. They're not about to be wiped out. Even if they were, it wouldn't be because you drive a car. Polar bears swim. They can swim hundreds of miles. They are wonderful swimmers. They are not going to die. Of course, because the girl is clutching the polar bear, it puts forth the subliminal message that she is the protector of the polar bears, and somehow we are supposed to be protecting the polar bears. Again, I don't know where you are watching this, but from where I am making this video in New York City, I have absolutely no effect over the survival of polar bears. The empty swinging chairs represent her dead friends, the other children from the opening shot. They're all dead now. This is where things really get out of hand, with this video giving the subliminal message that due to you driving a car, you are going to cause earthquakes to erupt and swallow people. I've heard some extreme global warming predictions before, but this is the first time I've actually seen claims that it's going to cause earthquakes. I'm not sure how that's going to happen, but here we are. It's just another big scare tactic. She is reaching down to save her polar bear, but it's clearly too late for that, and this is to symbolize some notion that if we don't act now, the world is doomed and it'll be too late. This is just to try to instill some type of emotional trauma in the person watching this who isn't aware that climate change is a fraud. Now that the manufactured problem has been shown, we need a reaction. So we have the girl returning to the father, and you are supposed to put yourself in the place of the father with the understanding that it's up to you to react to this problem and find the solution. And what is the solution going to be? Well, of course, go to the Copenhagen official site, right?
All scientific prognoses show that the continent of Africa will be severely hit if we do not act now.
The fact of the matter, as Lord Monckton has said in several videos, that if these policies that they're discussing at Copenhagen go through, it's going to mean mass starvation across Africa. It's going to mean rising costs of food, and people are going to starve to death all across Africa because of these stupid global warming agenda laws, which are just a front for a one-world government.
Let us be clear. We are running out of time.
We would have hundreds of millions of climate refugees.
Carbon dioxide is a minute part of the atmosphere, and the carbon dioxide made by people is an even much smaller part of the atmosphere. Do you know what they're running out of time for? They're running out of time before all of you figure out that this is a fraud. It's a fraud to bring in a neo-feudalistic one-world government so you can pay your taxes to the UN and Al Gore. That's all that these proposed carbon credits are, a tithe to your new feudal master.
I'm only a child, yet I know we are all in this together. In my life, I have dreamt of seeing the great herds of wild animals, jungles and rainforests, full of birds and butterflies. But now I wonder if they will even exist for my children to see. In my anger, I am not blind, and in my fear, I am not afraid of telling the world how I feel.
That's a old UN footage of a girl making a speech. That's a bit too old to really be relevant to today, so it's being taken out of context. But the real message here is that our decisions on whether or not we should deindustrialize our society shouldn't be based on science. They should be based on the yelling and screaming of children who have no idea what the science is. I asked you the question, do you want to listen to science and rationale thought and logic, or do you want to listen to a 12-year-old girl who has been fed lies?
Please help the world.
There's the cry to please help the world by ushering in a one-world government tyranny to tell this girl what she's supposed to do the rest of her life, to stop people from reproducing, to deindustrialize the world, to starve people in Africa. It's a one-world government eugenics campaign. It's absolutely disgusting. And then this whole stupid ending where all the children of the world are pleading, yes, please enslave them under one-world government tyranny. It's for their own benefit. It's for the earth. This is sick. And something that's most sick about this is it's not even a sophisticated piece of propaganda. It's just an idiotic appeal to simple emotions. There's not much to analyze in it. Yet people are being fooled by this bullshit. It's just disgusting.